close them and make sure they're locked.
Direction of wind.
We have a little bit of a tailwind. Looks like probably in the neighborhood of about 4 knots, something like that. No more than that.
Emergency.
Okay, so because we have a tailwind, that means when we reach 200 feet, we're going to be further away from the airport. And we'll have to penetrate a headwind to get back. So we want to think about that. What are our options as we do that? At 200 feet, we'll have enough altitude to come back, but we need to be thinking about that as we're rolling down the runway, okay?
So, can you pick up the wing?
Okay, I got the controls. Why don't you follow me here so you see what we're doing. But clear left and right. Give him a thumbs up.
And rudder.
Okay, we're going to do this. Stick about the middle. Wag the rudder.
Also, traffic caller 700 point shine your left quadrant toe.
Oh, I didn't show him my toe pass.
Yeah, he knows your toe pass. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is keep the wings level. Try to get the nose out of the dirt, which isn't a problem with you in here. And then we get a normal flying attitude.
Yeah.
And now, I just lift off and hold it about 3 feet off the ground, waiting for him to take off. Because if we take it higher than him, we can actually pull his tail up and drill his nose into the ground. Now that he's taken off, I'm trying to keep his wheels on the horizon, keeping that yaw string drawn a straight line through the middle of the tow plane. We're just going to come up with it. We've got 100 feet now. We can make a 90-degree turn. If we had a problem, I'd probably go to the left over here, go out that way. 150. We can still do that. Now we've got 200 feet. Right now, we can turn around and go back and land at the airport. I can make a left turn and come back.
Have you ever... That would be a good place to...
I can't hear you. You have to speak up.
That would be a good emergency.
Well, it'd be a good option, but it wouldn't be my first choice because we have an active runway over there. So unless we know exactly where that other plane is and what's going on, that's not my first choice. My first choice would be off to the left. But if there's nothing off to the left that's usable, we can certainly go to the right. Just means that we got to use extra caution.
I can tell what you mean by, you can tell the wind by the water?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, look down at the lake there. You can see what it's doing. climbing. Look at that, there we go. We were climbing at 1,000 feet a minute there. All right. So now that we're off tow, can you reach the trim?
Yep.
You'll pull in a couple of notches of trim down there. Okay, now I want you to take the control here and see we're climbing.
Yeah.
Going up. Just keep us circling here and we'll climb and gain some altitude. Well, just shallow that bank up. We don't need to be doing that much. Look forward, don't look into the turn. That's how you're going to tell. You keep your circle going, you keep your pitch. We're going to fly good circles, all right? There you go. You got the control. Flying out of the lift on this side. We'll come back around and see if we fly back into it here. We do. We're letting the nose drop. Don't let the nose drop. Okay, now level it out a little bit. We can count 1001, 1002, 1003. Now let's start turning again.
Can you keep the
Turn it. We just flew out of the lift. Alright? You need to look forward, Ganon. Alright, so we're going to see if we can find that lift again.
Can you take it?
I can't hear you. What?
How can you keep the control?
Oh, I got it. Okay. And there we go. It's a nice, smooth, looks like probably wavy type of, look at that. We're just flying straight here. This isn't a thermal. Yeah, you see when the lake is nice and glassy like that, it means there's hardly no wind at all. You can see that there are some patches of wind, which tells you that it's going to be little patches of gust here and there, but for the most part it's pretty calm.
Is that good for lift or no?
On a day like today, we're going to get lift probably more because of wind than anything else. And I think that's what we're seeing here is that we've got this wind that's coming in with this front. And it's giving us this lift right along the ridge here. You see how we're just flying straight. We're just flying straight and going up here. So still trying to figure out exactly which way the wind is going and why we're going up and all that other good stuff. It's detective work as we fly around here. Now it's 0. I'm going to come deviate this way a little bit, see if it goes up. No, it's going down. So if we turn it this way.
So you're paying attention to this way?
Alright. Let's turn it around and go back. Here, so it was going down on the other side, so this is not a surprise to me. It's an onshore flow. Also, look at how we're tracking. We're tracking a little bit to the left here, so the flow is coming in more from LA, interestingly enough. Flying around in sync now. There it is. I can feel it. Alright, well, you want to fly some more or you just want to sit up there and enjoy the view?
can you let me fly a little bit, when practicing turns?
Yeah?
I'd like to do that, maybe.
What's that?
I'd like to practice turns.
Yeah, okay. Well, take the controls here if you want, and then we'll fly out there and we'll do that.
So do I need to give it a little bit of, do you have the rudder?
I'm sorry. It's so noisy that I can't hear you.
Do you have the rudder?
No, you're working it. You got the controls. Alright, so let's turn to the left here, get away from the ridge, because that's downflow there. Okay, shallow the bank up. There you go. And now level it out. Okay, let's get the nose down because we're in some sinking air. Let's turn it to the right. Don't look forward. You're letting the nose come up. Watch the forward so that you can keep the pitch and the bank angle good. Alright, looking good. Level out. You see how the nose dropped there? There you pull up a little bit. There you go. Okay, turn it back to the left. Look at the yaw string. Use a little bit more rudder to get that yaw string straight. A little bit more rudder right there. There you go. Okay.
Level out?
Now, I want you to fly parallel to Grand Avenue down there. So level us out and fly parallel to Grand.
Could you take the controls again?
Okay, hang on just a second. Alright, I got it.
When do we get to learning how to land?
Well, you need to get to where you can control the glider first, so, you know, you need to be flying the glider before we do that. So, me flying it isn't helping you get there, but if you want to get used to the feel of it, that's fine. It's up to you. If you want to fly, well, let's fly it, and then landing is part of flying it.
I think today I'll just let you fly it, because I'm...
What's that?
I think I'll just kind of try to get used to it flying.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Coming down like a rock over here. Above our pattern altitude, this is where we want to start our pre-landing checklist. So let's start going through it. Traffic. We're looking for anybody that might be any kind of concern for the tow plane on the ground. He is looking for other traffic because someone else might be coming in to land. So we're clear. What's next?
Wind and...
So wind and direction and velocity. We're going to have a slight headwind on landing on 11 right. one right.
Gear down.
And welded on this sucker.
Spoilers.
Okay, reach up there and grab that spoiler handle. Rotate it down. Pull the spoilers open. And look at them. Okay, now close them. And we'll lock them up again. So, we're just making sure they're functioning. When we get into the pattern, we're going to fly this thing at about 60 miles an hour because that's 1.5 times the stall speed. We want to stay away from stall. If we have a headwind, we want to adjust for that, but there's not an appreciable headwind. So we're going to be flying 60 in the pattern.
And what about the trim?
Well, let's put the trim full forward. That'll help us keep our speed up. There you go. Alright, so we're pattern altitude, get our speed up. I'll make the radio call. Elsinore traffic, glider, 88 Whiskey, entering on a right 45 for landing runway 11 right, Lake Elsinore. Now, we're coming on a 45-degree leg here, but what we're going to do is we're going to push in towards the airport until it looks like our touchdown point is at a good glide angle, and then we're going to turn downwind.
So we're landing this way?
We're going to be landing on 11 right, going the other way, opposite of the way we took off. Now, we're getting close to where that looks like a good glide angle. So we're just getting closer and closer and closer till that glide angle looks good. That looks pretty good. Now, we're going to turn it downwind. Now, we're going to keep that glide angle where we want it to be using spoilers or adjusting in and out from the airport. So we're a little bit high, a little spoiler. But when our touchdown point is about 45 degrees behind us, which is, you see those roads out there, the one closest to the lake that's between the runways, that's where we're going to aim to touch down. That's about 45 degrees behind us there. So we're going to make a fairly steep bank turn. It's harder to stall the glider in a steeper bank turn. Onto our base leg. Looking out to the left, make sure nobody is on final approach for 11 right. Okay, we're looking good. Now, start our turn on the final here. Again, a fairly steep bank turn. And we'll use the spoilers to stay on the glide slope. There's those two roads that go across. We're aiming to touch down at the one that's closest to us here. And what we're doing is I'm just looking at that glide angle saying, yep, it looks good, but also is that point moving up or down on the windscreen, and I'm adjusting my glide based on that, because if we're coming down too fast, that point is going to be moving up. If we're coming down too slow, it's going to be moving down. I want to keep it kind of right in the middle there, so that's what I'm doing. Now we're going to fly it down till we're about 5 feet close to the ground, and then we'll slow it down a little bit. So right about here, slow it down, and now we'll just let it land. Now once it's on the ground, we keep the wings level with the stick and we steer with the rudder. So I'm keeping the nose up so we don't have to walk so far. So you see that even that little bit of headwind we have makes a difference on how our ground speed looks. Okay? Now go ahead and stop it. It's always better to put the left wing down than the right wing down. Makes it easier to get out, unless we have a crosswind. If we have a crosswind coming from the right, we'll put that right. We'll always put the upwind wing down, but right now we have it coming right in our face, so we'll put the other wing down. So cool. All right, you worked a little on toe. That was good.